The government was encouraging people to build these underground shelters.
Well, where would they buy an underground shelter? How do you even begin to build an underground shelter?
There were companies like Sears that you could order one from your catalog and they would deposit it in your backyard.
Wait, what's
Kinda
a
crazy.
Sears catalog?
A Sears catalog?
Yeah.
Oh, that was only like the best thing ever.
Don't stop. Don't stop.
Every home has a heartbeat, a history, and a story to tell. Some are built to impress, others to protect. And once in a while, a home does both. Welcome to Every Home Has a Story, a podcast from Homes.com. Today's episode takes us 26 feet below Las Vegas into a Cold War-era bunker turned retro paradise. It's got a pool, a putting green, a dance floor, and a programmable sky. Listed at $8.5 million, it's a part fallout shelter, part fantasy. I'm Parker Leipzig with the Homes.com news team and one of your guides on this house tour.
And I'm your host, Valerie Kellogg, an editor at Homes.com. Today, we welcome Homes.com staff writer David Holtzman. David is a former newspaper editor. His passion is writing about how government housing policies shape the experience of renters and owners. After many years of renting, David made his first home purchase after falling in love with a 1920s American Foursquare. He later sold that house and now lives in a 1960s mid-century modern home. Welcome, David.
Thanks. Nice to be here, Valerie.
It's great to have you here. So, David, this house is wild. It's part museum, part movie set, part luxury retreat. It's like Mad Men meets Fallout with a splash of Rat Pack swagger. Now it's for sale, right?
Yeah, you get an above-ground house and an underground house, two houses, for the price of $8.5 million.
So it's a twofer.
You might say that.
Okay. So what is the story with this house?
So this house was built in the late 70s by a guy named Jerry Henderson. Just to give you a little background, his father was one of the founders of Avon Cosmetics.
I remember that.
And he was on the board of the company for many years. And he was also just a really successful businessman, just kind of dabbled in all kinds of different projects. And one of the businesses he started was this company called Underground World, together with an architect named Jay Swayze. And one of the things they did is they went to the 1964 World's Fair.
Oh, cool.
To exhibit their vision. And you had to keep in mind the time, this was during the Cold War, very much in the middle of the time when Americans were especially anxious about the threat of nuclear war. And, they had this vision for this. And actually the government was encouraging people to build these underground shelters.
Well, where would they buy an underground shelter? How do you even begin to build an underground shelter?
There were companies like Sears that you could order one from your catalog and they would deposit it in your backyard.
Wait, what's
Kinda
a
crazy.
Sears catalog?
A Sears catalog?
Yeah.
Oh, that was only like the best thing ever.
So do you remember Sears department store?
Yes, I know that.
So maybe before they had them or even at the same time, they would also have these really fat catalogs and they would deliver them to your house. And then you would order whatever.
Everybody put their holiday
all the
list
stuff
together.
you could get from the store.
I want that Barbie. I want that G.I. Joe.
So you could order a backyard shelter.
Oh, wow.
And they would come deposit it.
I never realized that.
So it was kind of we had a chance to talk to Jerry's grandnephew, Greg, and we asked him, well, what kind of person was Jerry? And Jerry clearly at the time, he said, was concerned about the threat of Cold War, just like a lot of Americans. And so he was partly motivated by that. But he was also just kind of a real visionary. And he was always saying, oh, look at all these cool new technologies and showing family members. So it seemed like that was part of the motivation for him.
So it wasn't just that he really wanted a unique place to live.
I think he kind of did. I think that was part of the motivation,
Okay.
is he wanted to live in a cool house. It wasn't just that he was afraid of being outside.
I want to live in a cool house and survive in case anything happened. Okay. So let's go underground and inside the property. How do you get into the house?
Well, so as I mentioned, there's two houses. So there's an above ground house, which is, it's a nice enough house, but doesn't really stand out from the ones around it in Las Vegas. So you walk in and right away there's a stairwell that goes down and there's an elevator. But they're not going down to just your average basement. They're going down 26 feet below ground to this underground world. And you come out of the elevator and you are in the outside, which is really not the outside, but it looks like it. There's a swimming pool, an outdoor swimming pool. There's these fantastic murals all around the house of different places that Jerry Henderson visited in his life, or one place where he grew up. And then I guess this is controlled from inside the house, but there's a lighting system. So there's a lighting system there that will kind of control whether it appears to be daytime or nighttime. So it can be made to appear very much like you're
Wild.
outside.
Yeah.
So that's what you see. And then there's some of the things you mentioned, like a putting green. There's a dance floor with a disco ball.
So you could host a disco, a dinner party, and a doomsday drill, like all in one weekend, right?
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really
Groovy.
So then you go inside the house, and it's kind of in some ways a classic 70s design. But where you notice that the most is in the kitchen. There's actually several working appliances that were part of the original house. There's this toaster that's built into the side of the wall
Oh,
that
wow.
you pull out.
You see so many TikToks about the old appliances, and people want those again, like the Lazy Susan refrigerators.
Yeah.
Did it have one of those too?
I didn't notice that. There was some kind of weird blender device that apparently was original that I couldn't really quite figure out how it worked. But the kitchen is white and pink, and it's just like, I don't want to say garish, but like it's really striking.
Striking. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know if that would have been a classic color scheme of the times, but it's pretty dramatic. And so you look out the windows of this kitchen at the outside at these murals, and you're inside looking out.
So we spoke to his grandnephew, right?
Gregory.
Right. And how would he had stayed in the house, correct?
Stayed there a couple times.
Yeah. And how did he describe the experience of staying 26 feet underground?
Well, he said when he first emerged from the elevator, he felt, I think he used the word coldness. I think he was just, I mean, you can't hear any of the outside, it's very still, like being in a basement, but really far below. But then he said he kind of forgot. He went inside the house and he just felt like he was moving from room to room inside a house, and it didn't really feel that different from being in any house.
And probably the lights really help with that effect, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's actually a little tiny guest house there next to the main house, also underground.
Underground, right. Okay.
And so he actually said, I think he stayed in that house.
Why did they end up building a home atop the home? Was that the way it always was, or?
No.
Okay.
When Jerry first built the house, the way that you would get in is through a boulder. So there were some boulders sitting on the ground.
How do you get a boulder to?
I don't know if I assumed it was not a real boulder.
Okay.
But it looked like a boulder. And so on the backside of the boulder, they had attached a door and then made it so that it would swing open and close like a door. And you'd go in there to
Land
get to
of the Lost or something.
Yeah, that's how you would get to the stairs or the elevator. But then when Jerry passed away, I guess sometime in the 80s maybe, his wife Mary decided that she was done living underground. And I think Gregory said that she missed the sunshine and she did needlepoint. And so that's hard to do without some natural light, I guess. So that was a motivating factor also. So they built this above ground house at that time, probably sometime in the 80s. Yeah, so that's what's there today.
So both the above ground house and the bunker are for sale in this.
Yeah, and now you can have them both if you like.
Yeah.
Some people have told me they would never live underground or stay underground. Like, would you?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe for like a Airbnb weekend, but I don't think I would live there full time. No. It's kind of like an attraction.
Might be a little
Might not be
different.
for everybody.
Yeah.
Might be, and all the seasonal affective disorder stuff, and need that natural sunshine, vitamin D deficiency. But it does seem to be very, very fun. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that, and we're just going to take a quick break.
Expert voices, local impact. Our journalists bring you sharp analysis and compelling stories from every corner of the U.S. housing market. See what our newsroom is uncovering at Homes.com/news.
So, David, has anyone been living in the house?
No. Since Mary, Jerry's wife, passed away, nobody's really lived in the house. At different points, there's been a caretaker, but the caretaker has actually lived in the above ground house, is my understanding. So, yeah, it's just been, nobody's been living in there full time.
But it's been kept restored all this time?
Yeah, I mean, it's, like some of the furniture is not original furniture and stuff like that, but like for the most part, it's kind of the way it was.
I guess, like, why would they want to keep it in such pristine condition if no one's living there, What's the appeal of that?
Well, yeah, it's a good question. I mean, it seems like, just from talking to the agent, Holly Erker at IS Luxury, it seems like everybody who's owned the house has kind of recognized it has historical value. And, when I asked her about the historical value, I mean, she said Clark County, which is Las Vegas. A lot of it is actually Clark County. The county is interested in trying to give this property historical designation to try to protect it from development.
That would be a big attraction. It's, for architecture geeks and
Yeah.
folks who love old Las Vegas and people who love mid-century.
Yeah, I think people go to Las Vegas to see things they can't see anywhere else. And this is very, very close to the Strip. It's actually very close to the middle of Las Vegas. So it could very well be a significant tourist attraction. And it just seems like the kind of thing that people go to Las Vegas to see. Things that are very out of the ordinary.
So the house, no one's living in the house, but it's being restored.
Mm-hmm.
So something has to take place there besides people polishing the toaster, right?
Right. And I mean, actually, I was talking about it potentially, I was talking about like people coming to see it, but obviously that's if it's not a private home. And so actually what's been happening is that the current owners hired a company that is basically manages tours and events there. And we talked to the woman who runs that company, and so she talked about some of the things they've been doing. So, for example, they've had the band Imagine Dragons do a music video in the house.
What video?
It was for a song called Monday, I believe. I don't actually know the words to the
I
song.
know that. Can you sing it?
No. I could possibly sing the beginning of one Imagine Dragons song, but not that one.
Okay.
And then there's a woman who's sort of a choreographer and has worked on the show Girls on HBO, and she did some video down there. And so, I mean, it's already kind of being used for outsiders to come and see it. It's not a museum. I mean, it's not quite set up for that, but it's clearly the owners of the property have recognized its entertainment value.
And do you think it'll appeal to people fearing not just another world war, but maybe climate change as well? Because I noticed that that's been a little bit of a trend, that folks are doing underground homes in Tornado Alley. And
Yeah, and I talked to this historian who talked a bit about, like since the pandemic, there's been kind of an uptick in interest in this, and with climate change also, like in recent years, there's been a few different things that have happened in the world that have got people thinking, oh gosh, maybe I need to go underground. And, whether this particular house would necessarily protect you from all kinds of disasters.
That's the question, right?
It's a little hard to say. I mean, it's 26 feet underground and it has earthen berm above it, but, I don't know technically if it would save you, but.
Well, let's not try to find out. So, but I do think probably what happens in Vegas sometimes happens underground. David, thank you for sharing this story with us and for helping us explore a home that's truly in a world of its own.
Sure, happy to do it.
And as the old-time singers in Vegas might say, take it away, Parker.
Thank you to our listeners for joining us on this journey through history, imagination, and the power of home. Tune in next time to Every Home Has a Story. And start your search today for more homes for sale at Homes.com. I'm Parker Leipzig with the Homes.com news team. I'll see you next time.